Avicenna was an Arab philosopher who lived in the 11th century. He is widely regarded as one of the most influential philosophers that have come out of that time period. He was a dualist, which means he believed the mind and body were separate. In order to prove this belief, he created a hypothetical thought experiment known as the flying man thought experiment. In this experiment, a man is floating in space, unable to see or hear, untouched by gravity. He knows that he exists, but he has no way of using his body or even knowing that it is there. In this way, we know the mind and body are separate. We have done a recreation of this flying man thought experiment.
We now see Erik flying through the air. He cannot see or hear. He knows the mind and body are separate. Unfortunately, he is still affected by gravity. Just to make sure we did it right, we did it again.
One of the most prominent debates among philosophers is between free will and determinism. William James was an American philosopher from the 19th century who explored both sides of this argument. Free will is the idea that we can make our own decisions and write our own future. Determinism is the opposite, and it claims all decisions and events are already determined based on things that happened in the past. Between the two sides lies a middle ground, known as soft determinism or compatibilism, in which both arguments can coexist. Ultimately, James decided that his will was free.
So was Chris's action already determined by Omeed's past influence? Or was Chris acting on his own free will? Study philosophy in order to discover the answer yourself.
Jeremy Bentham was a late 18th century British philosopher who developed the ethical theory of utilitarianism. The goal of this theory is to supply the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people. A main aspect of utilitarianism is the happiness calculus. This calculates the amount of happiness different actions bring to the society in an attempt to achieve the greatest good for the greatest amount of people.
We couldn't really think of a good skit for utilitarianism, so we just started throwing soccer balls at Erik. If we were to take a utilitarian approach to this, we would have made a skit in which we all were not hurt in any way, therefore achieving the greatest good for the greatest amount of people.
I hope I soak all of you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the flying man thought experiment. They're not supposed to know I jumped.
Oh, then okay, that'll be fine then.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not hitting it gracefully. So.
Calculus, which calculates the amount of happiness.
Like 16 times.
Yes, so just doing this. You're actually using it.
We know, see, Erik.
See, that's exactly what we should do.
That you can type up and it says in Morgan Freeman. On future. Determinism is the opposite. It claims all decisions. I hate this.
Oh my God.